Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am going to be talking about my bookish pet peeves. I have quite a few, so it might be a long video, but I'm not sure. But also, I braided my hair last night, and like this side turned out like good and cute. This side just like kind of fell off. But anyway, so I braided my hair yesterday, and I wore it like all day yesterday and all night last night. So I just took it out. And usually it's more poofy, but it's like pretty decent. So yes, anyways, I did my hair. And also, I'm at my husband's desk because my iPad died and my laptop's on the charger. And also it's like right next to a window, so there's pretty good lighting. But just like ignore the background, even though you've only seen my bookshelves and like one background. I didn't want to sit on the floor for this video because my bookshelves are like kind of low. Anyways, but I have my iced coffee. It's really good. And then I have the so I have my list like right in front of me. Sorry, that's my dog. So the first thing I will be talking about is long chapters. I hate when a book like has like long chapters. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure it was Addicted to You, and I'm trying to remember, I don't think the other books like in the series were like as long, but like there's like 30 chapters or something for like that whole book, and I think it's like 300 something pages. And usually with like, you know, like a 300 or 400 page book, it's like 60 chapters, right? Am I wrong? But I don't know, like the chapters, I was listening to the audiobook, and like it was saying, like I was listening to it on Spotify, and it was saying for each chapter like it was like 30 minutes long. And so I was like listening to it, and like it took like an hour and a half to listen, and I was on like chapter like 3 or 4. So anyways, I mean, I still read the book obviously, but like I just like I feel like I read books faster, and I don't know if it's like in my head because like it's the same amount of pages, you know, but like if it's in my head, because like whenever I read a book that, you know, has like 5-7 pages in a chapter, like I feel like I just fly through it really fast. Like I feel like that one like took me a while to read, which I also like wasn't super into the story yet either, because I didn't know what was going on, and the long chapters were just putting it off. But so yeah, so that's my first pet peeve. And then my second one is when the author like explains something like multiple times, or like just uses the same word throughout like the whole book and like story and stuff. But like whenever they're like talking, but yeah, like when an author like repeats like the same thing. Like, okay, so I will say that Chloe Walsh did it, and like Binding 13, she just kept repeating like how small, like tiny Shannon was. But like that's also, sorry, I'm putting my switch over my leg, but that's like also like for the story, if that makes sense. Like you had to understand like how like malnourished and like skinny Shannon was, because she wasn't eating, and like she wasn't, you know, she was just throwing up like all the time due to her anxiety. And then like it talked about like, a spoiler warning, by the way, spoiler warning for Binding and Keeping 13 if you haven't read the series. Fast forward, like I'll put the time in below, but fast forward. But anyway, so at the end of Keeping 13, like after she's been living with the Kavanaughs, like it explains, and like at the end of the book, like sometime in the book, that like, you know, she like grew into her body, like she grew like 3 inches or something, 3 to 4 inches, something like that. And so like she wasn't as skinny, and she wasn't like that tiny girl, because she was getting fed, you know, she was fed, she was whatever else. And so that's like the difference. So that's like, that's okay, because like, you know, while you're reading it, you're like, but like I don't want to like just keep reading how someone's tiny, because like I'm tiny, and like people tell me all the time, you know, it's so annoying. But anyways, but then like you understand like that's part of the story, and so like that's fine. But just like when the author just like repeats, like, so like whenever like, let's for example, let's say like someone has like a troubled past, and like you don't know the past of like them yet or whatever, because it doesn't explain it till like the middle or the ending of the book. But just from like the beginning to like whenever they were like reveal like the past, they just like keep bringing it up in like every single chapter, like something about how like she has a troubled past or whatever, and how everything like reminds her of it. Anyways, I don't know, maybe it's just like the books that I read, because like I feel like some books like are fine like that, but I don't know, I'm going on it right now. But anyways, so if you hopefully understand like what I'm getting at, but that's like what I mean. And then like the same words, like, you know, like describe something, like, or anything. So yes, anyways. And then my next one is dust jackets. So here, hold on, pause really quick. Okay, so I have these two books, okay? So, you know what, actually, pause for just one more second. Okay, here we go. So, I have this book, and my husband bought me this book for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago because he loves, like, chess, okay? And so I read it, and, like, I didn't really like it at first because, like, I don't know, it, like, talks about something that, like, I just have never read. If you've read this book, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. But anyways, like, it was fine. So I ended up finishing it, and I really liked it, actually. So I follow Eternal Embers, and you should know what, like, Eternal Embers is. They, like, make special editions and stuff of books, popular books, pretty much. And so, yeah, they do that. And so I bought a few books off them, like, special editions. So I got this book, okay? And this book was like $30-something or like $40. Okay, and it's actually really cute. It's just, it sits on my bookshelf. But, it's the same thing. And so, like, I already had the book, right? I thought that the cover was going to be, and maybe I'm just dumb, but I thought that the cover was, like, going to be this. Like, I thought that was going to be the cover, but no, it's just, like, a dust jacket that just covers the book that I already had. So, anyways, so there's that. And, okay, and also, they mean, like, dust jackets with, like, hardbacks, and I take those off. Like, when I'm reading a hardback, I never leave the dust jacket on because it's slippery, and, like, it's just easier to hold it. And that's also why I hate hardbacks. That's why I get paperbacks, because, like, I just, like, you know, like, I, like, they're lighter, they, like, feel better, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of hardbacks. But anyways, so then I, obviously, because the Binding series is my favorite series, I bought these two books off of, the Eternal Embers. They, like, collabed with Larry Reed's, and hold on. But anyways, so I'll show you the books. So it's obviously Binding 13 and Keeping 13. So these books are so pretty. They're my pride and joy. I'll show you the inside, which there's nothing, like, too special, but they just have, like, the, oh my gosh, if I can land on a chapter, they have, like, that, and it looks so cool. But anyway, so that's the outside of it. And they sent, so, like, these books were, like, a little expensive, but I bought them in the box. Oh my gosh, I think Archer's Voice came in the box. And Archer's Voice, the one that I got, hold on, let me grab it really quick. And you see, it's like a normal book, okay? And I love this. And, like, that's the back. So cute. That's the front. I love it so much. It's so cute. So then they sent the dust jackets. And I have not put these dust jackets on these books because I like this. But they have, like, they have the same cover as the book. And the reason for that is because they spelled Johnny's last name wrong somewhere on the book. I think it was Binding. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, this one's right? Kavanagh. Oh, lol. So they sent stickers, for it, and so I put the sticker over it. But anyway, so they sent stickers, so they didn't even have to send the dust jackets. And, okay, so anyways, I remember where I was at. But, so they had these books out, and they sent a sticker right here. Hopefully you can see that. They sent that sticker because they misspelled Johnny's last name wrong on the book. But they sent the sticker, so I covered it with the sticker. And, like, I forgot that I even put the sticker on. I thought it was part of the book, so it looks like it's part of the book. But then they sent these dust jackets, and they're so pretty. But I have never put these on. And so, like, here's the side. That's the covers that I have. And then here's the other side. Oh my god. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. And like I said, like, they're so pretty. But I have never put them on because, like, these are fine. Like, I like the way that these look. And also, like, I don't know. There's no point for, like, the dust jackets, you know? But I understand why they did it because they spelled, like, his last name wrong. But anyway, so, like, that's, like, those are just pointless, you know? And I just wish Check and Mate was, like, how Archer's Voice is. Like, how it's, like, the actual book. I don't know. You know, like, it just seems like the cover's cute, but, like, it just seems pointless. Because if I ever read the book, like, I have the original cover, and I'm gonna take the dust jacket off. But anyway, so, like, with Fearless, I pre-ordered Fearless from oh my gosh, Waterstones and from the UK. And so while reading that book, I bought it on my Kindle. So I read it on my Kindle because it took like 2 weeks to get in. And so I got it, and like the hardcover is like already really pretty, but I took the dust jacket off to read it, and I don't know, like dust jackets are pretty to have on your shelf and stuff, and like hardbacks are pretty, but like I just prefer paperbacks, and like I just prefer like if it was just like a normal hardcover, like, you know, oh my gosh, okay, I don't have the book, but The Deal, L. Kennedy just like released a new edition of The Deal, and it doesn't have a dust jacket. It's the actual hardback book, and like I want it, like I want to buy it. It's only like $19 or $20 from like Amazon and Walmart, but like that's what I mean. Like I wish like people would do that, like publishers would like just release it on the hardback and not send dust jackets with it, because like I just don't like the way they feel, and they're just like kind of pointless. But anyway, so that's my rant for the dust jackets, and hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But yes, anyways, okay, so moving on. My next one I'll be talking about is corny nicknames. Okay, so I have like two that I put on here, but there's like a ton more that I've read that I just like can't even think about. But like I hate reading corny nicknames. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I like the baby and babe like in books, and like sweetheart occasionally, you know, like whatever. Those are fine. But like whenever like she calls him like big guy and he calls her like tiny girl or girly, oh my gosh, I read a book, I wish I could remember the book, maybe if I remember it I'll put it in like right now, but I read this book and he just like called her girly all the time, and I was like, that's what I call my friends, like what? And so I hate reading stuff like that. And I also just read this other book, oh my gosh, I think it was I don't know, I'll have to look it up because I just read it on Kindle, but I read like 3 books like within the past like 2 weeks on Kindle. So I'll put it in right here. But I read that book, and like he called her sweetheart after like every sentence. Like literally sweetheart after every sentence. But like whenever like okay, the book follows Ashlyn and Colt, and Ashlyn's obviously the main female character, and Colt, he just moved back to like the town or whatever, and so because like something happened in his past, so Ashlyn's dating this guy, and I completely forgot the guy's name because he's so fucking irrelevant, okay? So she's dating him for like half the book, and she like doesn't like him. She's like, I need to break up with him. But then in this time, like you get Ashlyn and Colt's like POV, and like Colt like really likes her, but he's friends with like the main guy, or not the main guy. Oh my god, he's the main guy. He's friends with like the guy because he like lives with him and stuff, and they've been friends since high school. Okay, they've been friends since high school. And I mean, I still read the book. I still rated it like 3.75, 4 stars. Okay, this is just my little rant. Okay, so they were friends since high school, and then like Colt met Ashlyn or whatever through him, right? Well, he actually met her before he knew that she was dating him. But anyways, so Ashlyn, like, no, she keeps saying it in her head that, like, she doesn't want to be with him. Like, they've been together for so long throughout, like, their whole high school, like, 3 or 4 years or something. And it's, like, the Belly Jeremiah thing all over again with Conrad. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, she's just finding her feelings, okay? So then you get that or whatever. And then finally, she didn't break up with him, okay? And so Colt knows that, like, also, spoiler warning. If you have not read Don't Let Me Fall by Kelsey Ray, move forward, okay? This is a spoiler warning, okay? So, Colt knows, and he's known for a little bit, that her boyfriend has been cheating on her all the time, okay? Because he's, like, his room's right next door, okay? Right next to his. And so he knows that he's been cheating on her, okay? So he doesn't tell Ashlyn, and Ashlyn doesn't break up with him. I really forgot his name. I want to say Chase, but I know Chase is in the Boys of Baywick series, so it's not him. But anyways, I forgot his name. So anyways, but like halfway through the book, this girl's boyfriend texts her, and he says, I'm breaking up with you. And then like she finds out, I don't even remember how she found out that he was cheating. He didn't like tell her anything. I think Colt like ended up saying it. But then she went over to his house, to like her boyfriend's house, to confront him, but he was obviously out, and so obviously Colt was home, and then they like kissed or whatever. But it's just like halfway through the book, like you're leading Colt on when you could have been dating this whole time, and like it's like the tension, like forced proximity, and then they like start secretly dating. There's so many tropes thrown into this. And did I read it? Of course. Did I like it? Yeah, okay. So there's a ton of tropes thrown into this, but it's just like that's what like pisses me off, you know, like love triangles like are fine or whatever when she clearly doesn't know who she wants, but she clearly knows who she actually. Love triangles are not fine at all. I hate love triangles, okay? But okay, so another book. Oh my god, hello. So another book is The Trade by what did I do? Another book is The Trade by K.I. Stevens. I'm pretty sure, or Kai Stevens, how do you say that? Where like this girl's a swimmer, and like the main guy's like a football, not the main guy, the main guy's a hockey player, I'm pretty sure, and the other guy's like a football player, and so like she goes back and forth, but like she knows like who she wants, but she's still like talking to the other guy and stuff, and it's just like, you know. Okay, so enough about that. So the next one is third act breakups, okay? And I've read a ton of books with third act breakups, and I'm like, I hate third act breakups, okay? But like, why are some of my favorite books have third act breakups? The Deal, Yours Truly, I'm pretty sure had a third act breakup if I am correct. And just like books like that, okay? So I loved The Deal, okay? And so, but her, like, Hannah and Garrett were only broken up for like a couple chapters, and then they got back together, and I'm pretty sure there was still like a couple chapters after. But I'm talking about like whenever they like break up. Oh yeah, so it also happened in Good Girl Complex by Good Girl. Oh my god, I'm getting so overwhelmed. Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. So Elle Kennedy likes to write third act breakups, okay? Which is fine. I will read anything Elle Kennedy writes, okay? So I'm talking about like when they're like together like most of the book, and then they break up, but they're broken up for like 5 chapters or more, okay? They're broken up for a while, and then they get back together in the last chapter or like on the last page. Like, no, I need them, like I need to read whenever they're like still happy for like I need to read at least 2 chapters or something where they're happy, or like they get back together on the last page, and then you get like the epilogue like 5 years later, and like that's fine. But like I just want to read them like together happy for like a little bit. Like make the third act breakup like, I don't know, like 3/4 of the way, I guess, which is the same thing. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I even how to explain it. It's just like whenever they break up and they're broken up for like a while, and then you're reading about how they want to be back together, but they can't because they know like they don't deserve each other, they don't fit or whatever, and then they confess their feelings, and then they get back together like in the last chapter. I don't know, it's just annoying. Yeah. Alright, the next one, I promise we're almost done. The next one is the miscommunication trope, and I have read the miscommunication trope a lot, okay? It's in Yours Truly. It's in, I'm pretty sure it's in like Happy Place. It's in so many books, okay? And I'm always like, I hate the miscommunication trope, just like with the third act breakup, but I still read it in every book. And sorry, my baby's playing right next to me, but anyways, so like the miscommunication trope is fine, like if they miscommunicate and then they talk about their problems and then like they resolve it, and like it's fine whenever they like resolve their problems. But like if you read Normal People or watched the show, you know that they never resolved their problems, never, ever, and it is the most heartbreaking story. And it's just like you get frustrated as a reader because it's like, and I'm pretty sure authors do that for a reason, because like you're so pissed off but you don't want to stop reading, but like I don't even know. So like I'm literally losing my train of thought because I was so overwhelmed. But anyways, so whenever they like talk about or like not talk about their problems or whatever, and they just get mad at each other, and almost every chapter is like them arguing about something because like they don't communicate. And I realize that happens in real life, but why do you think I read books? To escape real life. I want to go into another world and just like read about something else, you know? Like obviously I don't want to escape my life forever because that's why there's books, but like, you know, you just like want a time where like everything's like happy or something. I don't know, but like I understand like authors are trying to like make it like the real like world and stuff, and that's fine. It's just like you don't have to put it in every chapter, you know? Like a little bit of miscommunication is obviously fine because that's how life goes, you know? But I don't know. So then my last and final one, this is like a big one for me, okay? I am an avid hockey watcher. I'm an avid football watcher. I love watching sports, okay? this one, whenever authors, and it's become so popular right now, the OG, like, sports romance is the Off-Campus Briar series by Elle Kennedy, and she does it so phenomenally, okay? She does it so great. Like, she mixes the hockey world, and she mixes, like, the relationship, and she mixes music with Hannah, or, like, anything in general with, like, the characters. And so, like, you get, like, the sports romance in there. Like, it's called sports romance for a reason, okay? Whenever authors are writing a sports romance and they, like, say that the character, like, the main guy plays football or hockey or something, and you get, like, one chapter of them, like, playing, and sometimes you don't even get a chapter of them playing or, like, practicing or in a game or anything. You get, like, that they play. And so then, like, it'll say, like, oh, they just got done with a football game or whatever. And it's just, like, cool. Like, how'd the football game go? Are you going to talk about the football game or talk about the hockey game or something? Like, I've read a lot of books where, like, the guy's playing hockey and you get his point of view on the ice, and, like, you get, like, his, like, goal or, like, how he's going to, like, pass or something. Like, you get anything. And, like, I just love reading that. As, like, I was a lover of hockey and football. I love reading, like, about the sports in the sports romance. But a lot of these newer authors, like, they just, like, they're like, oh, the hockey romance is popular, and then they don't talk about hockey. Like, all they mention is that he plays hockey. They never once, like, mention how the season's going or how anything's going. And I get a lot of people's least favorite book in the Briar U, like, off-campus world is The Chase. But The Chase is, like, the main book, not the main book, oh my god. The Chase, like, there's just more, like, talk about hockey in The Chase than, like, a lot of the other books. And, like, you get a lot of hockey in, like, The Deal, because Garrett Graham obviously is, like, a stellar hockey player. You get a lot of hockey, like, really in all their books, but, like, you get a lot of hockey in, like, The Chase. And, like, I love that. And, like, Boys of Tommen, like, Chloe Walsh, she talks about, like, Johnny playing rugby, and, like, she talks about, like, how he has to do on the pitch and stuff. And oh my gosh, I don't know, I just love reading that. So, like, whenever authors just, like, skim over it, or, like, they say, like, oh, I just got done with practice, or oh, I just got done with a game, we won, like, I want to, like, hear, like, I want to read about them in practice, or, like, them in a game. And, like, maybe, like, a lot of people don't want that, but, like, what's the point of reading, like, a sports romance if you don't get the sports aspect, you know? Because then it's just a romance at that point. And so that's, like, my whatever, that's my pet peeves with books. And then, like, obviously I have, like, pet peeves with, like, not, like, the storylines in books, but, like, I have other pet peeves, like, with books, like, I don't even know, but that's just what I have to say. And sorry about all my rants, clearly I needed to let it out. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please subscribe or leave a like or a comment letting me know, like, if you feel the same way about these, like, tropes or anything that I talked about. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!